We are looking ahead to the two semi-finals in the 2020 Cricket World Cup, and at this moment, I'm joined by former Australian cricketer David Hussey. David, thank you for talking to us about two, I would say, cracker of games coming up.
Yeah.
Pakistan versus New Zealand first. Your first take on the match?
Well, yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's been a wonderful tournament. Yeah, tonight's going to be an incredible match. New Zealand playing very, very good cricket, but Pakistan they slip into the finals, and you just never know who's going to win.
It always says that in sport and in everything, 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. I think in Pakistan's case, it has been more than 1%, isn't it?
Absolutely, they've lost the couple of games off the last ball. Who can forget the game out here at the MCG against India in round one? That was incredible, and they've somehow snuck into the finals. They've got their good players playing some good cricket. They've got a great bowling attack, and I think anything can happen tonight against the Kiwis.
And weird similarities with the 1992 World Cup.
Yeah, weird. They somehow qualified for the final, and they played very, very well in the final against the English. So qualified, I think, through a washout, and yeah, they snuck through for tonight's game against the Kiwis, and they're playing some good cricket. So anything can happen.
And your brother Michael is a
Yeah.
part of the English camp. Tell us, knowing Michael, what kind of strategies you would expect against the Pakistan?
Well, the English there. Well, Mike's with the English, so yeah, he's. I'm not sure. It's not sitting with me that well actually. Him being supporting the English, but yeah, he's a nice, cool, calm, and collected person. He's very well researched. He'll get the English players playing in a nice, relaxed manner, and I think the English play some very, very good cricket. So it's going to be one hell of a final series.
And what is their Achilles heel when we talk about the English? Yeah.
Well, the English, they seem to they go hard from ball one. In the 20 overs, they try and get 210, 220 runs and bat the opposition out of the attack. So, yeah, I think that's probably their gameplay. And I think Mike will try and be nice and relaxed the whole way through and, yeah, try and get the English to set a competitive score against the Indians.
On the opposite camp, we have Matthew Hayden strategizing for them. He's the mentor for the team. How would you, how do you see the two Aussies strategizing for the two teams who are coming up against each other in the semi-final?
Well, they're two Australian greats, aren't they? Matthew Hayden played in excess of 100 test matches for Australia, wonderful player. Yeah, he's probably more of a man manager, motivator for the Pakistan team, and he's done some great work for them. Whereas my brother, he's probably a more cool, calm and collected person, very much on strategy and how to get the best out of each player individually. So it's yeah, it's going to be one great final series and one I can't wait to see.
And when we talk about Pakistan, would you say their biggest trouble, so to say, right now is, their openers not coming good in this edition of the World Cup?
Well, it's T20 cricket. Anything can happen. So, and their openers, Rizwan is an incredible player, and he's got the record to prove that he's an incredible player. So, I wouldn't be doubting anything of the Pakistan players. They're incredible players to watch and to play cricket. So, Rizwan, great player. I back him to be probably one of the star players for the final series.
But in Sydney, would you say it's one team's pace against the other team's pace tonight? Because both the machines seem to have incredible, pace attack.
Yeah, well, the Kiwis. They're very well rounded. They're great bowling attack. Tim Southey, Lockie Ferguson, Trent Bolt. They're wonderful. Mitchell Satin, a great spinner. So Ish Sodhi as well. They're very well balanced. They're very well drilled, very well planned. But then you go to the Pakistan lineup. They're incredible too. So Harris Ralph, a fan favourite of mine, played for the Melbourne Stars. He's a ripper. Yeah, Shaheen Afridi, of course. And they got good spin as well. So it's going to be the pace attack of the Kiwis v the pace attack against the Pakistanis, and one I can't wait to see.
You mentioned about Harris Rauf. I'll have to ask you about that shot that Virat Kohli played. That what would you call it? A SWAT flick?
A SWAT flick, yeah, you should patent that.
I don't know what would you call it? A SWAT flick?
Well, it was a perfect ball by Harris Ralph. That's the thing. He bowled top of the stumps, dead straight. It's hard to score the wicket here at the MCG. It's at pace. Harris Ralph bowled it, executed it perfectly, and Virat Kohli sort of just camped back on his back leg and hit it straight back over his head, over the sideboard, and for 6 runs. It's probably one of the more ridiculous shots you can actually execute on the world stage, and it's just when India needed it, and yeah, Virat Kohli's having the tournament of his life.
Talking about India a little bit, would you say that India right now are a little over dependent on Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav?
No, I wouldn't say that. They got They've got some wonderful players. Openers, Dinesh Karthik, the wicketkeeper. They've got good pace attack, good spin. I think they're a very well balanced team. Good coaching staff. Rahul Dravid, Paddy Upton. I just think they're really well balanced, and I think everybody knows their roles. So in T20 cricket, if one player comes off, your team generally wins. And unfortunately for the Indian teams, they've got 2 or 3 players coming off with the bat and the ball. So it's quite a compliment to have for the Indian team going into the finals.
Virat Kohli hasn't been in great form even during the IPL. You've seen him closely during the IPL. You're
Yep.
coaching KKR. But suddenly, since Asia Cup, there has been a complete turnaround in Kohli's form. What do you see as the difference between that Kohli and this Virat Kohli?
He just probably seems a bit more relaxed at the crease. He's just focusing on the cricket ball. When you see legends like that of the game have a bit of a form slump, you just know they're going to come back into it because he's a classy player and he knows how to get runs. And I think he's a big game player, and big tournaments he comes to play. And I think there's no secret behind the fact that he's probably been the player of the tournament this year.
Also, just after you left Surya Kumar Yadav, just before you joined KKR, Surya Kumar Yadav had left for Mumbai. But just looking at him during the IPL, his transition, how would you describe it? I mean, the way he is right now with the Indian cricket team, and probably Mr. I would say he's Mr. 360 degree and
Yeah.
Mr. Dependable as well.
He's like the mailman. He always delivers, doesn't he? He's probably taken over from AB de Villiers from hitting all the way around the ground, and you can't forget that shot, the wide Yorker he hits over fine leg for 6. It's incredible. And what's the best thing about Surya Kumar, he's Yadav even, he's probably one of the better blokes going around in the circuit too. Classy, humble, and a great player to watch. So I'm just wrapped that he's reaching all the success he deserves.
Would you agree that he is the next Mr. 360 degree?
Yeah, why not? I think the players now on the circuit are playing 360 degrees, and if you don't, you're sort of letting yourself down. So you really have to teach yourself how to play all around the field. And Sky is an amazing exponent of that. And it's one player you actually go out to pay good money to watch play because he's an excitement machine.
David, you have been coaching in the T20 circuit across the globe. Would you say that the upsets that we have witnessed in this edition of the World Cup is mostly because of how many of these players go on to play in the top T20 leagues across the globe?
Yeah, effectively. We're very, very lucky in the cricket environment at the moment that you get to choose which tournaments you get to go and play in. So for the players in the like the Hollands, the Irish, they get to play and choose sort of mini T20 tournaments. So they're getting experience, and then hopefully one day they get to play on the big stage here at the MCG and the ICC tournaments and go on to play on the IPL as well, which is the best T20 competition in the world.
David, talking a little bit about India's bowling, what would you say is India's weakness? Would you say it's still the death over bowling that India needs to get better at when they play the knockouts?
Well, it's not really a concern because they're taking wickets all the way through. So Mohammad Shami, excellent bowler. Hardik Pandya is bowling fast and swinging the ball. They got good spin. The fielding's excellent. So they're really well balanced with the bat and the ball and in the field. So I don't see too many issues with the Indian team. It's pretty much who turns up on the day and executes their skills the best and has a bit of luck. I think luck plays a bit of part in T20 cricket too.
One final question, your final lineup.
For the Indian team?
Prediction,
Oh,
your predicted final,
Well,
two finalists.
I'm hoping the Kiwis, because I've got good friends in the Kiwis team, v India here at the MCG. There was not a better spectacle to see on television. See India-Pakistan here, packed house, packed stadium at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It was wonderful to watch, but hopefully India and New Zealand in the final.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.